had, and we're just glad to have everybody here. Hope everybody has a good time. It's a beautiful sunny day. Have a good Daniel Boone Day. Bye.
About 30 minutes ago, and now she's gone home to do something else and be back over here. So. These people went crazy.
Tell me what your names are and where you're from.
My name's Charles Campbell, and this is my wife, Patty.
Ah, you have some beautiful carvings here. Would you like to tell us about them?
Well, these are antler carvings is what I started on, basically. Well, I started with wood, but moved over to the antler carvings. And from there, I've gone to the clay sculptures. And now I'm trying to learn to paint, so
How did you get...
I can't stay still long enough to get really good at any one, I guess.
How did you get started in carving?
I don't know. I just picked up the chisel one day out in the shop and tried to carve something, and just kept working at it until I got a little better.
Where did you get the inspiration to start carving deer antlers?
Out in Idaho. I stopped at a gas station, and the guy had a belt buckle he had made out of nail candy. And I bought it from him, and I brought it home, and thought, well, I could do that. So I started carving, and this is what's ended up as.
Miss, do you have him in the carvings, or do we?
No, just carting it around. Come to the shows, he needs some help. But.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joseph people talk about.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Would you tell me how that you got started into wheat weaving?
I think it was around 1985. I was living down in Florida, and I just saw an ad. The Parks and Recreation was offering a class in wheat weaving, and I was fascinated to see what that was, and I went and took the class, bought some supplies, been doing it, you know, ever since then.
Marsha, where do you get your wheat?
This wheat comes from Kansas. It's grown special for weaving. It's harvested a little bit different than wheat that's processed for grain.
Is there any special thing that you have to do to it before you start weaving?
It has to be cleaned, and then I have to soak it to make it pliable. And this wheat that I'm working with today is hollow. I'm doing a spiral weave, and when you get to a point in the wheat that it's a little bit thick and it's hard to work with, you cut off the old piece and you insert a new piece in that hollow spot,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just wrap it over and lock it in place and just keep on weaving. The wheat originally came to the United States from Russia by the Mennonites. They migrated to Kansas for religious freedoms, and they brought their wheat with them.
Hey, neat.
It's because I'm doing your talk shows. It's super big. That's what they sell. Yeah, I have those. There are the antlers.
Hi, Kathy. Would you tell me how you got started painting river rocks?
Sure. I had a friend who was doing it, and it looked like a lot of fun, so that's how I got the idea, and I just went out and started collecting rocks, trying to figure out what animals they looked like.
Uh-huh. Well, you sure have done a good job of picking out the rock to match the animal.
Thank you.
Do you do any drawing on the rock before you start, or you just start painting?
I usually sketch a little pencil sketch to get,
Uh-huh.
you know, the eyes and
Right.
general shape of the animal.
That's
Start
fantastic.
painting.
I had seen some of these up here before. I thought they were marvelous.
Thank you. I usually start with the eyes because I feel like they're the most important.
Is there a certain paint that you use, or just regular
Just
water?
acrylic paint,
Acrylic paint.
artist acrylic.
It's nice.
I like the food. I guess I was born to raise or something. I like the food. I like to work with all the food.
Yeah. You know, they're fun to work with for a while, but
I've got a little blacksmith shop at home. I do a little blacksmith work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yes, and keep on.
blacksmithing is something I'd like to learn to do someday.
Andy's good.
How you got started in chair painting?
I needed a chair bottle.
Okay.
That's just about what it amounts to.
What type of material do you use to bottom a chair?
Hickory splits.
How do you get those?
Well, you can split them by hand. I buy mine most of the time
Uh-huh.
because it's so time consuming to split your own.
Uh-huh.
I don't have a pro with me. Just start with a wide piece and just keep splitting. Split it off until you get a thin piece.
Uh-huh. Do you have to soak that or something before
Soak
you
it
put
in
it
water
in?
just a few minutes, you know, so it'll bend without breaking.
I also see that you've got some wood pieces here. Do you want to tell me about a couple of those, especially this one with the handle?
This
What it is and how you did
This
that?
is a rabbit plane. It's used to run against another piece of wood, and it just makes a groove for making window sashes or frames of any kind. It just makes, you can set the depth, and depending on the width you want, make any size groove.
How about the metal pieces? What have you done with those?
these augers, and I didn't make the metal auger. I made the handles and attached these. And the tops, chalk reel. That's an old style chalk reel.
Are they sort of like antique pieces that you have made?
Well, yes, they're patterned after antique tools that I do have.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Example I've got. Well, no, I've got about 100 little miniature animals. I collect little ones. This one right here, I use this for demonstration purposes and all. I've got a whole lot bigger forge that I use too, but I don't like to carry it. It's all cast iron. Extremely hard to maneuver and get around.
My daddy always accused me and my brother of being able to tear up an handle.
Oh yeah, with a feather. Yeah.
Andy?
Nice work there.
Thank you. Come on back around and get shanked.
Andy, would you tell me how you got started into blacksmithing?
I think I was born with it. I've always liked metal, and I don't like wood. I just, all of my people and everybody in my whole family was carpenters. But I just couldn't do it. But I did like metal, and the more that I delved into it, the better I liked it, and the more things I found out about it, the more I wanted to do it. It's just something about creating something out of a flat piece of iron. You know, you can take a piece of iron and you make it into a watch spring, or you make it into a boat anchor. There's a lot of things you can do with this.
Andy, what are you doing there?
I'm making a fork right now. There's a couple of forks that I made that's in the Daniel Boone, fork and a spoon in the Daniel Boone building. I've not hammered it in yet. I'll fix it for you just in a second. Okay.
What is the thing you're using here? Can you
This
tell us
right here
about
is
it?
a forge. This is called a forge. And what this is nothing. This right here is blacksmith coal. If you'll notice, there's no smoke.
All right.
After it's hot and after you turn it into coke, this right here is coke. Now coke it's light. It's extremely light, and there's no fumes to it. There's no smoke that comes off of it, and you have to have coke to be able to weld. Like this right here now. I made this at a school at Dollywood. And this is 4 pieces of metal that's hammered and welded into 1 piece of metal. And then this 1 piece of metal comes up and makes a loop and welded back again into eye. And a lot of this is colonial type work. I don't do anything with electric. I'm a purist as far as when it comes to blacksmithing. I do a lot of reproductions, restorations, repairs, and do some artisan work. But this right here, to weld this, you have to have coke. That's what this is. Coal won't work, and just plain old coal like goes in a stoker furnace or anything like that won't work. If the fire is not clean, if it's smoking, if it's not clean, if it's got any other kind of impurities in it, you can't weld. No matter how hot it gets, it won't weld. It's really odd.
I'm still fascinated with why you're turning the wheel and what
that
does.
This right here is a blower.
Okay.
And it blows air around this bellows and goes into the bottom here and up through the coke.
To keep it burning?
Yes. Now this when it'll burn, it'll sit there and burn without any air being blowed in it.
Okay.
But this right here will reach about 2,800 degrees. And 2,800 degrees is hot.
Right.
I can actually burn this piece of metal. It won't be anything left. Just burn it, slap up, all with air and coal. That's all it takes. So it's, you know, a blacksmith in any development, in any settlement, when the blacksmith was more important than the doctor.
Right.
Because if the blacksmith wasn't there, then nothing else could be made. He did all of the hardware for the wagons, all the hardware for the house, the hinges. If they wasn't made out of wood, all the hinges, all the nails, all the screws, gate closers, everything. Even the eating utensils and the cooking utensils. Inside the Daniel Boone building over here, you can see several pieces of blacksmith work in there. If you look around, even the froes, the axes, the hammers, everything. Blacksmith really, the only thing that he really needed was coal. And he could do it with charcoal and what he had in his head.
Okay.
So, even we made our own hammers. And I have made my hammers, but these are store-bought hammers.
Andy, do you do this just for your own use? Do you have a market for it? Do you sell your pieces? Or?
Yeah, there's a tremendous market for it. You can sell anything that you can make if it's of good quality. Now, it's like anything else. People's looking for unique pieces.
Right.
And everything that a blacksmith makes, a true blacksmith, is unique. After the Industrial Revolution, see, when these big presses come by and they just stamp out a spoon or a fork or a hammer or a pair of pliers, there was no need for blacksmiths. Blacksmiths faded away. But still yet today, traditional blacksmiths, there is a need for them because things that we can make by hand that a machine can't make. So, well, like this, for instance. See, this right here. Now, a machine could not make this, not with a one stamp. It could with several operations. But this is one piece of metal, and it had a small rod, and I welded it to it, and then turned it into a longhorn steer. But all of this was done with a hammer and the anvil and a piece of metal. And what come out of my head.
Okay. Those are great, Andy. Thank you.
Thank you.
See, you're setting up an Indian, is it teepee or
It's a
tent?
teepee.
Okay, a teepee. It's most unusual. Can you tell us a little bit about it? These rods they're not rods, they're wood.
They're cypress poles. Went to Florida and got them. They're about 9 years old. You have to go into the swamps and pick out the poles that are tall and straight. And you bring them back and you take, you have to debark them. And we keep ours oiled. And if you take good care of them, they'll last a while. These are getting so that they're real brittle on the top, and so we'll probably have to get some more pretty soon.
They're very tall, and I see you just almost like woven them in. How do you do that? How do you start?
You start with 3 poles that are called the tripod, and you tie them together, and then you push them up, and then you start laying them in, going to the right side of the door pole, and then back to the left, and then one on either side of where your lifting pole is going to be at the back. And in a minute, the lifting pole is what you tie the cover on and lift onto the whole works itself.
Is this most similar to what the Indian would use?
This is a Cheyenne style teepee. We have a friend who builds about 3 a year, and this is a real fine made teepee. He does a real nice job.
Absolutely beautiful.
It's canvas. Of course, earlier before white men came here, the Indians used hides. But canvas is a lot lighter than a hide, and it dries out faster.
The Indian, they could build a fire up there. Have you ever tried?
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, we live during the summer. We work in Kansas, and we live in our teepee all summer long.
Well, party, so we'll come back later and take the finished product. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's Mulberry Fields, which at that time is what President Roosevelt called, or Salem, present day Winston-Salem, or in the community area. And they had a musician called Scottish Irish music, which is essentially very, very close, pretty much the same type style, just different aspects of it. I want to get on the hammered dulcimer and play a little bit.
Onions, right? Make me know somebody wants onions. They don't want them. I can't go on and do that. Right. Plan B. Still gonna be too high. That's my love. Let's go back down. Here we go. I asked my love to take a walk. Take a walk. Just a little walk. Down beside where the water flows. Down by the banks of the Ohio. Darling, say be mine, and no other's arms will fly. Down beside the banks of the Ohio. Oh yeah, I wandered home between 12 and 1. Cried, my Lord, what have I done? I've killed the only man I love. He would not take me for his bride. I say that you'll be mine. In no other's arms entwined. Down beside where the waters flow, down by the banks of the Ohio, down by the banks of the Ohio. Oh, beautiful. Good. Tell you what, while you get ready,
Waiting for you.